All right, let's pop the hood on the most incredible machine you'll ever own, your own body. We're going to see how it works just like a high-performance engine, taking in simple stuff like fuel and air and turning it into the energy that powers, well, everything you do.
I mean, really think about that for a second. How on earth does a simple piece of fruit get turned into the energy you need to walk, to talk, to think, even to dream? It is an absolutely fascinating process, and we're about to break it all down.
Okay, let's dive in. This right here, this is our roadmap for the whole journey. You can see it all laid out. We start with food and oxygen, and after a bunch of amazing steps, we end up with energy deep inside our cells. This is the exact path we're going to follow.
First things first, the fuel line. We're going to trace the path of a single bite of food as it makes its way through the unbelievable processing plant that is your digestive system.
And here it is, that processing plant. You know, it's basically one super long tube that stretches for an incredible 9 meters. That's nearly 30 feet long. And its whole purpose is to break down everything you eat into tiny, usable molecules.
The adventure starts the second you take a bite. Your teeth get to work on the mechanical side of things, grinding the food down. And at the exact same time, your saliva kicks off the chemical process with special enzymes that start breaking down carbs before you even swallow.
Now, the main digestive tube doesn't work alone. No way. It has a crucial support crew, these amazing chemical factories like the liver and pancreas. They produce these powerful digestive juices, each one perfectly designed to break down specific things like fats and proteins. It's incredibly precise.
So next up, food hits the stomach and gets churned into this paste called chyme. From there, it moves into the small intestine, and this is where the main event really happens, absorption. Look at this magnified view. What you're seeing are these tiny finger-like things called villi. They create a massive surface area so your body can grab every last drop of useful nutrients and pull them into the bloodstream.
And speaking of the small intestine, get this. To maximize all that absorption, it's all coiled up inside you. But if you were to stretch it out, it would be about 6 meters or 20 feet long. Just an amazing piece of biological design, isn't it?
The final leg of this journey is the large intestine. Its job is pretty simple. Soak up the last bits of water and get the waste ready for, removal. But it's also home to trillions of helpful bacteria, your gut microbiome, which are like little roommates helping you digest things like fiber. They're a vital part of the team.
Okay, so we've got the fuel sorted, but any engine needs oxygen to actually burn that fuel. So now let's switch gears and follow the path of a single breath of air.
This journey starts in your nose. Think of your nasal cavity as this really sophisticated air treatment system. It actually filters, warms, and adds moisture to the air to make sure it's in perfect condition before it gets anywhere near your delicate lungs.
From the nose, air travels down your windpipe or trachea and into your lungs. And inside, the airway just splits and splits again and again, kind of like the branches of a tree, forming this huge network that delivers air to every single corner of your lungs.
And the act of breathing itself, it's just a beautiful piece of simple physics. When you breathe in, your diaphragm muscle pulls down and your ribs expand. This makes your chest cavity bigger, creating a vacuum that just sucks air right in. It's kind of like pulling back the plunger on a syringe. Then to breathe out, everything just relaxes and the air is gently pushed out. At the very, very end of all those tiny branches are these things, microscopic little air sacs called alveoli. You have about 300 million of them, and this, right here, is the finish line. This is where the oxygen you just breathed in actually crosses over into your bloodstream. And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, all those 300 million tiny sacs create a massive surface area for grabbing oxygen. So big, in fact, that if you could somehow flatten it all out, it would easily cover an entire tennis court. Wild.
So, we've tracked our fuel and we've tracked our oxygen. Now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the moment they finally come together to create power.
Your bloodstream is the ultimate delivery service. It picks up the nutrient molecules from your gut and the oxygen molecules from your lungs, and then it transports them to every single one of the trillions of cells in your body. Every cell is its own little power plant, just waiting for that delivery. So it all boils down to this one fundamental equation. Inside your cells, nutrients plus oxygen equals energy. And this isn't some abstract idea. It's the literal chemical reaction that powers every thought, every movement, every single heartbeat.
Okay, knowing how this incredible engine works is one thing.
but that knowledge also gives us the power to take better care of it. So let's talk about some essential maintenance.
As we've seen, both of these systems are unbelievably complex. But the good news is, keeping them running smoothly is actually pretty straightforward. It just takes a few simple, healthy habits.
For your digestive system, it's common sense really. Eating plenty of fiber keeps everything moving through that long tube. Water is critical for all those chemical reactions to happen. Chewing your food properly gives the whole system a head start. And yeah, trying to avoid ultra-processed foods just reduces the overall strain on everything.
And for your lungs, the rules are just as clear. The number one thing, of course, is don't smoke. It directly attacks and destroys that delicate lung tissue. Beyond that, avoiding pollution when you can, getting regular exercise to keep your lungs strong, and just practicing good hygiene. It all makes a huge difference.
So when you really step back and look at it all, it is just awe-inspiring. Every bite you take, every breath you draw in, it kicks off this incredibly complex, totally silent, and honestly miraculous chain of events that keeps your biological engine humming along.
And maybe the craziest part of it all is that this entire engine just runs itself 24/7 without you ever having to think about it, which just leaves you with one final thought. What other amazing wonders are happening inside you right this very second?